How's it going today, everybody? We are back with another review. This is Kajime Addict, your host, and we are reviewing the first release, the standard release of the SH MonsterArts GMK Godzilla, or Godzilla 2002. I've just honestly wanted to do a video on this guy because he's great. I love him a lot. He's definitely one of the better MonsterArts Godzillas in the line. So let's look at that detail. Look at that eye, dude. They killed it with the eyes. Who would have known Bandai would be able to do would be able to do good eyes as long as there wasn't pupils in them. So the face and eyes look incredible. I just love the look of this Godzilla. Let's be honest. He is so gnarly and ferocious. He's an absolute monster. The figure looks incredible. Just like, he's heavy. He's one of the bigger Godzillas too. They made him larger than most of them, or at least at the time. Now we got like Shin and Earth and stuff, but they made this boy a big old bulky boy. Those spines too. He's got the darker spines, which I prefer. I know some people do like the white tips with the darker skin color in there, but I love the almost light blue into dark blue, maybe even turquoise a little bit, whatever you want to call them, but they just look so good. Look at that, yeah. And then he's kind of got a weird stumpy tail, but it is pretty much accurate. So he's got a little bit of a smaller tail, but that's okay. So yeah, that's pretty much the details on the guy. I guess we should probably look in the mouth too, just to show that the teeth are painted almost perfectly in the mouth. Just okay. So the articulation on this guy, actually there's quite a bit. There is quite a bit. So the head has a ton of movement and little things. Now the one thing, I don't know if it's like this with the heat ray version, but if I don't hold the joint down as I'm doing the neck, it just pops right off. So that is one thing. I believe this was a regular issue with this version, the standard, the OG release. But normally if you push it in, it's normally fine. As you saw before, he has an awesome mouth joint. Opens wide open. Looks awesome. The tongue does move. It's just with pretty much all of the Godzillas I've gotten, if there's been tongue articulation, it doesn't normally work. I don't like messing with it. So I only mess with it if it's the only way to get the mouth to fully close. If I don't have to touch it, then I don't have to touch it. So the arms, these are some of the first arm pit joints that actually like move a little bit. You can see this arm almost goes like 45 degrees. That was a new thing at the time. They swivel all the way up too. He's got biceps. Can really get him in some gnarly poses. He's got elbow joints. They don't flush all the way down, but with how much articulation is in the shoulders, you can kind of get him at the sides like that. And then the wrists are on ball pegs. Two separate joints here. It's got like a sleeve. They're definitely little joints, so be careful. They will break if they are moved around too much, but it still helps with the personality. You can get him in that classic Godzilla pose. Yeah, oh god. I love this figure. He's got a chest and belly movement, I guess. So you can crunch that forward, so you can really get him into that like Ghidorah fight, like hunch, or you can get him nice and tall, kind of standing up straight. He still has a hunch because that's one of this Godzilla's key things, is he's got a hunch to him. So, but it's nice. They can also kind of twist, but as you can see, there is mold lines kind of where these fins go in, so it doesn't really do that, but he does twist a little bit, so you can't adjust them. The legs go forward about that much, and they go back about pretty much not at all. So he's got a little bit, but you can squeak it through a little bit more too if you push it. I just normally don't because, well, I don't open up my figures, so I don't really know what's going on in those joints. You never know when you're going to knock something loose. They also have the in and out movements, and they fully sculpted the legs here, so it really hides the joints. It's not like the Heiseis way back in the days. And then he's got knee joints. They're really good. He's got a kneecap. Mine's a little loose. I normally just push it back into place. But they're both a lot of movement there, so you can really get them kind of squatting, or you can get them semi like standing tall. Normally how I have them standing. I kind of don't follow the typical posing methods. I like my Godzilla standing nice and tall. So, and then he's got actually really good ankle movement. He's got rockers in there. It's just a ball joint, but he's just got a ton of movement. Like, you can almost get it flat. And it can go really far forward, and then with the knees and stuff, like, Tamashii, I remember when they revealed it, and the MonsterArts community was going nuts. And even some of the regular community was going nuts, because it was like, hey, we don't technically have a really good 6-inch scale of this guy. And this is still pretty much the only one. Bandai hasn't made a Godzilla 2002 yet. And the Bandai American one, although isn't bad, it isn't spectacular either, especially by today's standards. So, and then the tail as well, I guess. But so this was a pretty exciting figure way back in the day. All that tail movement, all of that. Look at that. This was at the time, way back when, yeah, you can lay the tail all the way down. So, and it's got a lot of articulation, and it actually holds too. So he was one of the first to do that too. As I was saying, this is one of the first MonsterArts Godzillas that I actually pre-ordered and got when it came out. I didn't end up having to cancel just because I was so hyped for this guy. So you can also pull the tail really far forward. That's the one thing on this guy. You can almost bring it directly in front of him. The range on this tail is insanity. Look at that. There's not many MonsterArts you can do that and it holds. Yeah, just oof. This figure was above its time, and it still is. So I've considered buying the Heat Ray one, but I see that it's mostly sold out now, so I think I missed it. But I just love this figure, and I kind of wanted to just have a second one. So, all right. He's still standing up straight, so I'll leave the tail like that. Let's get into size comparison so I don't ramble anymore, because I noticed I kind of went on a tangent. I've got two here, just two really quick ones. The first one is the SH Figuarts Gomora, Showa Gomora. Absolutely dwarfs him. The Ultra line is in a slightly smaller scale. They're more like 5-inch figures, 5.5, compared to the 6-inch figures. So GMK Godzilla is obviously a lot bigger, but I mean, this is the Godzilla to be bigger than all the other kaiju. So, I mean, yeah, I like it. Plus, this is also a reference to my old channel and my first stop-motion movie. I did a Godzilla vs. Gamora, and it was a GMK Godzilla vs. Gamora. So maybe one day I'll have to go back and revisit that. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Probably will. Or at least I'll try. And then I'll give up. Who knows? And the other one is the MonsterArts Kiryu, because I don't bring this guy out enough. And I also want to do a review on him. It's just that he's got so much going on for him. I kind of want to take my time with it. So, but look at how big this guy is. Just like, oof. Even Kiryu makes GMK look short. This would be an interesting stop motion. Just anything, really. Anything with GMK Godzilla and Kiryu. You know, the characters separately or together like this is interesting. So, who knows? Maybe I'll do something. We'll see. I'm not going to guarantee anything like that, because it's a lot of work. So, well, that is about it for the review / ramble of GMK Godzilla. I love this guy. I'm just gonna mess with him quick. I'm gonna just pose him up real quick while we're talking about him. So, final thoughts. This figure is incredible. He was way above his time back when he came out in 2015, I want to say. 2015, 2015, or maybe even 20... It had to be 2015. He came out, he was one of the only releases before Shin Godzilla, I remember. Because people were complaining about it being a Godzilla, and then we saw it was GMK, and then everyone fell in love with it. So, yeah. So he's been out for a long time. He's kind of like Kiryu and some of the others, where it's like... Oops, sorry. He was way above his time, and there was something special with this figure. I think that's why when the Heat Ray was announced, I wasn't especially disappointed, just because this figure was like a $400 figure before that came out, and now they're both hovering around 200 and 300, I guess. So, but I love this figure. It's probably the quintessential 6-inch scale GMK out there. The only things I really see that are better than this is the X Plus figures. So I'm gonna give this guy a 10 out of 10, actually. Him not coming with the accessory doesn't bother me. It's the MonsterArts line. You kind of know what you're gonna get. It's kind of like the Dragon Ball figures where you're expecting shitty plastic that always breaks. What? Sorry. So yeah, GMK Godzilla is gonna get a 10 out of 10. If you guys like this video, leave a like, maybe leave a comment, and please subscribe. There's more kaiju content coming out. I have a few videos planned this week. I've got a controversial one coming out, and then I actually, for my documentary for GFest 26, 2019, I actually have a interesting video that I would like people to help me with on it. So that will be announced at a later date. It's gonna run through all the Instagrams, all the Facebooks, and all that stuff. So when the time comes for that, I'll post it. That's the only reason why it hasn't been posted yet. And I'm also getting used to my overnight schedule, so videos will be coming at a regular status quo again. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for having the channel continue to grow. It is only done through you guys. I just make the content. I do the easy part. You guys have been doing the hard part, which is subscribing, liking, commenting, watching videos. It's incredible. Thank you guys so much. This is Kaiju Addict again, and I will see you all